You know, whether you love or you hate my content, there's a couple of things you cannot deny. A, last year I carried TikTok for about 2 months. Undeniable. B, the hype for the song was so great that when I finally dropped the music video, it did 1 million views in 3 weeks. That being said, I didn't see no celebrities do the song or the dance. I wasn't interviewed. I was not treated the way they treat viral niggas. I have the same distribution as Sexy Red. Kevin Gates was in my inbox. Brian Davis is in my inbox. World Star shared me for free. DJ Academics shared me for free. Niggas know who I'm is. And like I said, 1 million views in 3 weeks. I don't care what type of song you got. That is motion. And the music industry decided to completely blackball me. You see, in the music industry where they have Lil RT, whole music, trap music, drill music, but my single mom raps and songs were offensive, right? That being said, I have been loving watching these niggas in their concerts. Because lately, A, concert sales have been trash. And I don't want to hear about the economy, because The Weeknd is doing just fine. Not only have concert sales been low, I've been watching the audience be completely unfazed at these rappers' concerts because the jig is up. People are tired of being in the audience and doing all the work for you. That's what a lot of people are starting to understand. And with a lot of rappers, the only thing they do is do what Playboy Carti used to do. Still does. He changed it up for The Weeknd, but for the most part, they let the crowd do all the work. They'll hold the microphone out to the crowd, let the crowd do the lyrics. And their presence is a performance as the crowd sings their heart out. There's no performance there, my nigga. The jig is up. The crowd is sick of this shit. You heard me? I told Offset a long time ago I could have saved this tour, back when his tour was struggling last year. He got a new song with JID. It's going to do pretty good because of JID. But for the most part, these rappers is out here struggling with these shows, man. And I'm happy to see it because A, y'all suck live. And B, y'all blackballed a nigga. So fuck y'all. That being said, back to my man Jim Jones. You know, Jimmy, I've never received so many threatening and hateful messages as I have when I started roasting Jim Jones. It's not my fault that Jim Jones is the Peter Pan of the hood. It's not our fault that Jim Jones don't want to grow up. It's not our fault that Jim Jones is a quote-unquote superstar, but you can't take a joke about yourself, my nigga. So I had to really get on your ass. It was a great time. We almost had 100,000 views on that video. Run that bitch up. So considering how I feel about the rappers and the nigga music industry, and considering that Jim Jones people been threatening me, sending me all types of messages, all these bummy ass goons, the boons as I call it, because you a bummy goon ass nigga if you threatening a social media comedian over Jim Jones. Like I said, boy, you know what? This is what I said in response to the boons. You know what's really funny? On this channel, we love it when I roast delusional women. But every single time I put a grown-ass man in an air fryer, 1977. Here come a bunch of butt-hurt, grown-ass men. Jimmy, let me find out you got your boons out here. By the way, thanks to you, Jimmy, I made up a new word. Boons. Bummy goon. Because you are a bummy goon ass nigga if you are threatening a social media comedian over Jim Orthopedic Jordan, Jim Metamucil Jones. They said this nigga was dressed like a lavender Muslim. They said this nigga was dressed like a pregnancy test. But you mad at me? And he has Capo in his Instagram name. What is Capo? Is that like a gang ranking at 48 years of age? Jimmy! A 48-year-old active gang member. Of course, there are a bunch of little blood minions who are willing to crash out for OG. You know, he's the capo, whatever that means. So considering how I feel about the nigga music industry, and considering the fact that I got the boons at me, this is hilarious. What is this concert, Jimmy? What is this concert, Jimmy? Not even the boons are out here for you? You couldn't get the boons to come to the show, Jimmy? I can guarantee you, if I was up there with the Pampers singing You Let 'Em Hit It Raw, they would either be singing along with me because they know, or they'd be laughing. What they wouldn't be doing is this. But if we can be completely honest, that is not what I want to talk about today. Did you know that Jim Jones gave birth to the sassy man Apocalypse? Yes. Jim Jones and Chrissy. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I don't watch Basketball Wives. I don't watch Zeus Network. I don't watch any of that stuff that makes black people look like niggas on purpose. We do a good job of looking like niggas by ourselves, myself included. I hate to admit it, I'm like 50% nigga, split right down the middle. Nigga, black person. But that being said, Chrissy got tired. Chrissy, baby, Chrissy. Jimmy, how you let her go out like that, Jimmy? It doesn't help one bit that when Jim Jones is getting proposed to, he has the cleanest braids I have ever seen Jim Jones wear. Jim Jones gave birth to the sassy man Apocalypse. But when you further break down the game film, why is his mother so upset? I didn't like what I found.
My mom taught me how to kiss when I was younger.
What did she tell you to do?
She told me how to tongue kiss when I was younger.
Like what's the instructions?
It wasn't no instructions. She showed me with her mouth. Like she
kissed you?
It's my mother.
No, I'm just asking. Okay.
I love it.
My parents barely kissed me on the cheek.
No,
so
my mom
I just stopped kissing my son on the mouth.
She showed me how to tongue kiss when I was young.
In preparing for this video, I watched this video a couple of times just so I can get ready. And I still cannot believe.
My mom taught me how to kiss when I was younger.
What did she tell you to do?
She told me how to tongue kiss when I was younger.
Like what's the instructions?
It wasn't no instructions. She showed me with her mouth. Like she
kissed you?
It's my mother.
You hear how Angela was like, what are the instructions? Because like it didn't even cross her mind that his mom.
It wasn't no instructions. She showed me with her mouth. Like she
kissed you?
It's my mother.
No, I'm just asking. Okay.
I love it.
My parents barely kissed me on the cheek.
No,
so
my mom
I just stopped kissing my son on the mouth.
She showed me how to tongue kiss when I was younger. Remember, my mom was 17. She's a baby. Look at all the babies that's having babies
for
now,
sure.
and look how they act with their babies. It's like they have a little sister or a little brother.
Yeah.
Jim, that's a logical fallacy. I know you don't care about English and words and arguing correctly, but that's a logical fallacy. Give me one moment. A red herring, a logical fallacy, a form of misdirection that distracts from the main topic of discussion or argument by introducing a seemingly relevant but ultimately irrelevant issue. It seemed relevant because your mom was a teenage single mom. You feel me? But that is not relevant when it comes to making out with your son. In all seriousness, Law & Order Special Victims Unit is one of my favorite shows. When a boy is the victim of a sex crime and it goes untreated, there's no therapy, there's no counseling, that boy may get stuck in that age. That being said, even though Jim Jones has grown up, what he thought was cool whenever he was assaulted by his mother, he still thinks is cool to this day. Jimmy is literally a special victim. I wish Jim Jones would have told that story to any adult when he was a kid. And how dare Angela and all these broads just sit around and just not levy the proper judgment. That's disgusting, Jimmy. I'm not gonna say your mother is disgusting, but that certainly was disgusting. So I'm really sorry for you being victimized, because you know, you from Harlem, you so tough. That wasn't me waving. You're 5 because you're gangster blood. You know, at 48, high-ranking capo blood gang member at 48. I'm really sorry that you never got the therapy you needed for that, because that is not right. And Angela, child, that ain't it, girl. That ain't even kind of it. Speaking of not being it, Jim Jones don't have it all. He's clearly suffering from early onset dementia. Not only because he has to be the world's oldest YN, but he just be lying these days. He said he got more Billboard hits than Nas. I need to find out whatever Jim Jones is smoking, because this shit ain't strong enough. More Billboard hits than Nas is crazy. Thinking you're better than Nas is crazy. You ain't better than me, Jimmy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm nicer than you. I'm much nicer than you. Actually, you just have money. I am so much colder than you. It don't make no sense. Y'all gotta remember, the only reason we had the Bop Bops mixtape originally was because I was called into HR for the 3rd time in a month about my Now You a Single Mom content. The same bitch, Melissa H. Now, by the 3rd time, my boss was like, look, this is your social media. She doesn't have a leg to stand on. You're not even talking about the company. If anything, we're going to tell her that she's harassing you. But we do have to let her speak. So she comes in, right? She's talking, and I quickly zone out. And I was like, man, Now You a Single Mom is going crazy on TikTok. I made the Like That remix, and that got 1 million views. I did the Spanish version, that got 1 million views in like 12 hours. I'm like, yo, like, and I'm making these other remixes online. If all these niggas sent me like $5, I could take a week off of work and get these niggas the mixtape they begging for. So I made the TikTok just like that. And overnight, I had $900 in studio time. So I gave y'all Bop Bops. I was very grateful, and it was hard. But that being said, being a rapper costs a lot of money, dog. And if you ain't well known and people trying to book you and shit and do all that shit costs money, G. The studio time, the videos, clothes, the traveling and stuff. So if y'all want me to be a rapper and show these rappers how a rapper should rap, because they're trash. Like, I haven't heard Jim Jones's new stuff. I don't know if it's trash. But I know damn well I'm a much better rapper than Jim Jones. I'm a better lyricist than Jim Jones will ever be. And I'm just being funny. Imagine if I was actually making music. Y'all crazy as hell. Jimmy is delusional.